feel that this last map is going to be just like every other. It's going to be epic. Tell your friends that our match has gone to Game 5. ByuN, the big fan favorite, versus Star League Season 1's champion and Star League Season 2 runner-up Dark. One game left to see who's going to the finals. Will Dark rematch Solar, or will we see the true finalist, GSL Finals versus SF Finals?
We're going into Game 5, guys. Let's do it on Frost. Dark versus ByuN. Going into Frost. Here we are on our 4-player map. The only one in this pool. And down here in the bottom left, in the red, Zerg player, it is Dark.
And down here in the bottom right, the GSL champion is ByuN. The fan favorite here. The ground shakes when his face comes on camera. We are close spawns, which creates an even more tense tug-of-war type game, but I'd say gives ByuN a slight edge. His rallies will be faster. His timing attack with the 2 medevacs will be quicker as well.
If he goes for it, I think there's a decent chance, especially if he scouts correctly with the Reaper, can follow that up very fast. We'll have to wait and see if he does decide to go for that build.
Yeah, it's one of the things about this map is chance and scouting. I know I've been very vocal about large 4-player maps. I'm not being a fan of them, but that's one of the cool things about the map too. In this case, it's also unfair for Dark because this position is unfavorable, but ByuN may not be able to capitalize on that build-wise quickly enough if he gets unlucky as well. So there is absolutely some chance in StarCraft, and we're going to see a little bit of that here. And StarCraft is always a game that's skill-based purely. Scouting positions don't win you games. He blindly goes double Rariks, so...
I like it. It's so good for the map because mobility is so important on a map this big. And it's just a great pressure build, right? It did wonders for him in that last game. Third base is similar distance. I guess you kind of have to walk around a little bit more on this map compared to New Gettysburg. But then the 4th base is near, but it's very exposed in these positions. So he's going to be happy, I think, that he went for this build. It also worked in the last game, so, you know, if it's working, don't change it up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right, Reaper scouts incorrectly, will now go to the correct position. He'll be very happy to know that the build he's chosen is going to be powerful for these positions. Smart scout here by Dark. This is a technique players use because the Overlord has more vision than the barracks. He can hide that he's coming from that direction. Won't matter here, obviously, because ByuN has already scouted. But had he scouted the top left first, he would still be a little bit in the dark. Overlord will be pushed away now. It's also part of the reason why you don't fully go in, because you would get killed by the greens that would pop out. Overlord should be fine. Not going to be able to take that out. Reaper trying to get additional information. Stim is on the way. This looks very familiar. It's the build that ByuN has wrecked top-tier players with Dark's teammate Sue in Season 1. It's a very powerful type of attack. And right now, every Zerg in the world is trying to build the queen count because it gives them better creep, it gives them better energy for Ultras transfuses later. What the trade-off usually is, you skip banelings for that. And this is designed to try to just break in right before the queens have enough energy. You hit this window, you do enough damage, and you get so ahead. And Dark has actually been impressively holding, though. And it's this tug-of-war we've been talking about. Here in Game 5, we're going to see it happen again. Queen count building, Stim halfway done. The 2 medevacs on the starport going to be coming out soon. Double Evo chamber, actually, for quicker upgrades this time.
Interesting. And, I mean, I guess because the Baneling Nest is going to come out a bit faster as well, you can hold, if you get the Baneling hits, of course, onto the Marine count. That does come across the map, so getting that early plus the greedier upgrades is kind of cool. He's not going to have as many lings or as many queens, perhaps.
Yeah. eBay is in the wall here, and that's probably not going to be a problem, but it's a stronger wall than Depot's, but if you lose it, obviously you lose your upgrades. usually not a factor, but the upgrade's just slightly faster for Dark. And here comes the double drop. Already boosted. We'll walk right into, or fly into, I should say, the Watchtower. Sends the Reaper to clear it, but it's already obviously been seen. And he wants to hit this third base. A good angle here already for Dark.
Yeah, I mean, Dark has so many Lings at this point. Is he even going to morph Banelings? That's the question.
Does he have a nest?
Yeah, he just got it.
Okay. So he has that opportunity at least.
This is still a very scary amount of Marines. If he could get the wraparound, you see how he's trying to spread his creep up towards the north.
Oh, tries to get that risky snipe. Forces one transfuse to go down. And he bait the second one.
That razor-thin timing, as the Queen is at about 2 health when Dark transfuses.
I think the Queen was at -2 health, but he did it so quick the game forgave him and brought the Queen back to life. Re-transfusing here, that could be risky. So you want to try to transfuse as the Terran overextends. Okay,
here's
now we
drop
have
number 3.
Yeah, with a Widow Mine, and the pressure continues. Lair on the way. Don't forget that with this late lair, his Baneling's speed is going to be very late, and that really hurts the defense here. Okay, kiting here, has to pick up. This time does not save every Marine. Losing about 2 or 3 there, I think.
Doesn't save everyone, and he doesn't target the Widow Mine either because he was picking up. Widow Mine hitting the Overlord. It did, splash damage to some of the Banelings on the ground, but could have gotten a better hit.
This is something that, what we just saw with the Overlord over there, is something that I've talked about a few times, but I think was going to become a lot more common. It's less of investment to fake Overlord drop. You force lost mining time.
Oh, there's the hit.
Oh, that's a big hit. Another one goes off too. I mean, he gets another Baneling. Combat shields 1-1. It's all lining up here for him to continue doing this pressure.
Yeah, and we talked about this these positions. It's so easy to reinforce. You just fly medevac by medevac over and over to join the core of your army.
This Overlord, this fake drop, forced a Viking even. He's very concerned about this. The cool thing is
Dark's style, right?
If you never drop, he's always scared that there's going to be something in there. So
yeah,
it's kind of crazy in that way. And if he's on the money and he splits, you're going to get the same amount of value anyways, except you lose Baneling. So it's actually quite smart to just have an empty Overlord there. Until people eventually start to realize that's, and call you out on it, or just make a Viking. It's very powerful. I like that a lot. I may have talking too much about it, but I'm getting a little, like, my brain's happy about it. Okay. So third base is complete and morphed into an orbital, but with all the army on the ground here for Dark, he's a little bit timid to move it out. Now it's going over. There's the cancel on that tech lab. He wants more Marines instead. Making a very specific decision here with how his production is operating.
This double drop is coming in. Did he? Yeah, he did see that. Very prepared here in the main. Nice snipes, though.
And he's just out of range on most of those Queens. This is going to get incredible value. It already has. One more Baneling forced to cancel. He targets the spawning pool. This could unlock a win condition for ByuN. If he gets that spawning pool, he can push. There will not be enough Lings. It is protected, though. And the drop ends. He has to back off.
He can drop there at the 4th once again. If he's paying attention, he can get a nice bit of damage, and he does drop. He'll probably go for that eventually. Split Dark's attention. ByuN does take his third base as well, so he has that up and running now.
Okay, forcing that base to really stop mining. On Dust Towers, this is actually the weak point of Dark. We saw he was unable to hold this base that was attacked by high ground. And as you can see, it's struggling a little bit this time too, and also ByuN is able to clear up so much creep from this, targets down Banelings, and gets away. Every single drop gives so much value. You can see the army supplies were dead even a moment ago. Now, look. The Korean commentators point out too, it's like this trading is so efficient that he gets 13 supply ahead, 15 supply ahead, 20 supply ahead, and suddenly he has this force with 2-2 right about to, knocking on the door, he starts to get more and more value, so much so that it's hard for Dark to transition to Ultras. The pipe is almost done.
I would say at least Dark was able to get those upgrades very fast. Ahead of ByuN, at least for now, only in the armor. ByuN just trailing very, very slightly. But at least he's going to be even, so he's not down an upgrade. ByuN doesn't have like a timing to go. ByuN immediately starts +3.
Okay, it looks like he wasn't looking very quickly. We'll definitely lose a lot of SCVs here, probably about 10. Will go down. It's kind of the number when you split your SCVs like that. And it's pretty good value. Obviously, 200 Marines spent, or 200 minerals spent. Or sorry, 500 minerals on those, 50 per. I don't know why I'm saying 250.
This is why they say never do math on Cast Wolf.
Anyway, that's a cost of a CC and a lot of lost mining, obviously. Very valuable damage. 120 lings on the map, by the way.
There is a massive run by coming in.
Okay, he's coming up here, but this is actually just a slaughterhouse he's walking into with these Widow Mines. Oh my god, cancels 2! And 1 gets the best it could have ever gotten. The ling count jumps down 70. 70 lings just died. 40 more on the way.
And all the Widow Mines are still alive, 3 of them.
Yeah.
Liberator getting a nice bit of damage here as well.
Let's not forget, he's going to have a larva problem with what he's doing. He has 3 larvae right now. This is going to start to become a very big issue with the composition he's chosen.
Full drop goes down.
He's having to use transfuse energy to deal with this, which later on when the Ultras come out is, you know, a lot of those queens aren't going to have as much energy as they could have around that time. Looks like he's not going to have Ultras out like he wants to make them now, but he didn't. Now he is, which is risky because that means he's spending all of his money and larva on this, and he will not have as much to defend a potential push. Okay, this Widow Mine not off cooldown yet. This one was. Oh, that was actually almost a really bad friendly fire was.
Well, he can send some lings over there to do
Oh,
damage.
man. And he turns around here. Dark is just unable to defend high ground pushes at his bases. Perhaps he should do what he did on Dust Towers and take the top left instead, because he's really struggling to deal with this pressure. This actually may cost him the game. He's now losing queens here. Transfuser's trying to get that one alive. It goes down. Only 2 Ultras in this army and 3 Banelings.
The Ultras are going to push him back, but as you said, so many transfuses being used.
Oh, if he loses those links, he loses the game.
He can't afford to transfuse his queens anymore. He needs to save it for the Ultras. Here he comes.
Hey, Widow Mine's burrow. Oh my god, the ling kills there. The bodies, the skeletons. This is the end of the Ultras. No Kaiden is plating. +3 attack is going to finish. ByuN looks like he may be on his way to the finals here of our CrossFinals.
Looks like it. I think that's the fight that wins him the game. You're exactly right. No Kaiden is plating. It finishes right as that Ultra dies.
And that's it. The last Ultra here, somehow avoiding damage for a second, will be targeted. He cannot defend these bases. It was his weakness on Dust Towers, and it's going to be his weakness here on Frost.
It's always so hard, and you know what? The positions, it comes down to that once again. ByuN just able to reinforce so easily.
It's the power of Terran. It's ByuN's strength. This looks like a game we would watch on Shakura's Plateau. You know, it's really that kind of vibe where you look at this and you go, how can the Zerg defend if the Terran plays this well? Like, if the Terran is playing on, you know, top tier level with control, I'm going to defend. Let's not forget, ByuN is on 2 CCs and is mined out. So if Dark holds on a little bit longer, he can recover. I mean, this game is not over when you look at the economies.
Pretty good. You know, you can make cheap queens, and if you get enough energy, you keep them alive for so long.
Okay, he needs to snipe these. They're so low. He needs to get a killing blow, but he cannot do it.
They're both so low.
I don't want to know how many hit points that has. It's got to be less than 10.
4.
3 Ultras have held off 60 army supply for so long.
And look at this one Overlord. That base that ByuN is trying to take right now is so important, but this one Overlord dropping creep, you're not really getting it on camera, there it is going to delay it just a little bit more. And every small amount of time that you can buy is huge. Now Dark gets ahead in supply, and he has a decent count of Ultras here. He's got 4 queens.
What you lose really when you stop mining like this from your bases is gas. So notice that ByuN can't build Marauders as much as he used to anymore. He's only building mostly Marines, which weakens his army, which makes Banelings stronger. So you see, Dark is starting to realize this guy has lifted CCs. He's not mining gas except from 1 base. I'm going to switch back to Banelings on my also weak low economy. This is a great Marine scout, by the way. He sees this, which is critical information. He needs to know this. This is going to be a tough base to hold, and perhaps for Dark, for his playstyle, a little bit easier than holding the base to the bottom, where he's not, you know, he has to fight over high ground. ByuN is really low on SCVs. buildings. He only has 2 CCs, and this army is going to be his last if he loses it. Oh, needs to get the rest of his army over here, but it's fighting. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, looks like a lot of Lings did go down.
A great split, though. A huge split for Dark. He takes winning trades in both locations. Okay, it looks like he'll lose this one.
He can't lose that CC. He just finally lifted it. If he loses that CC, he's going to be on 1 command center. 19 SCVs went down. He's got 24 left.
Mules can only do so much. I know they're fantastic, but he lost like half of his SCV count with just that one attack. Yeah, Dark didn't lose all that much. He's got another base.
Crazy hold for Dark, keeping that base alive, keeping those ultras alive, ByuN unable to finish them off. It's insane. Now going to take this fight. He's got Widow Mines to support. This is actually not favorable for Dark. Yeah, this is not favorable for Dark. He needs to get back. He's using Transfuse Energy here. It says high ground again. I'd say evacuate the space. You lose the ultras, that's your backbone of your army, you lose the game. Let this base go, take another one, run by.
Oh, great run by!
Bio is not nearby. I mean, he's down to 22 SCVs, he cannot be losing this. Oh, the Widowmine hat's immaculate. He saves the ultras again, though. ByuN needs to finish these off somehow.
They get transfused once again. Okay, finally he's sniping 1 by 1.
All right, they're going down. They're starting to fall here. Huge damage. There's a lot of bio here. He needs to start splitting it, and Microwave needs to stem. He needs to stem. These units are worthless without stem.
So many of those Marines just went down. This fight does not work out for him either.
Oh, he was so close. It was so close in this game, but you could feel it falling away from him. He's losing the grip on this game. He's down to 70 supply. Okay, attacks this base. There's nothing here. There's nothing here.
You can do a bit of damage, but after all...
Investor! Goes down. Sorry, I'm commentating like a Korean commentator, just yelling unit names. The space is lifted. It's not mining.
I can do 2 ultra. He's got 7 of them now.
And now
what does ByuN have?
The hatchery, man. It's so low, 500 hit points. He needs to save it. These SCVs need to start mining. ByuN is not mining at all. He has 0 income. He needs to start mining right now. He needs to get himself together. Is he bringing SCVs with this? Has he given up entirely? It looks like he has. Oh, he's bringing SCVs? Those need to go back home. Okay. If he kills the ultras, he can win the game. But that's what he has to do, and I just don't think it's going to be possible anymore. Huge hits! Huge hits on the bio. Huge hits on that bio. Accidentally transfuses an Overseer. That's a small victory. GG! It's just too much. Dark wins! He defeats the GSL champion, and we will have the SSL rematch. ByuN not able to seal the deal. He was so close. 2 games in a row. In game 4, he had the game won. Dark came back, but he took it in game 5. Unable to do so. Unable to come back and get the kill on those ultras. What an amazing series that was, though. That was incredible.
So back and forth. Every single game was so close. ByuN almost wasn't able to end game 4. But he does, just barely was able to do it. Was able to kill base after base. It seemed like Dark was just a little bit more together in that one, and it was down to the wire, but the ultras came out, and finally once the chitinous plating finished, that's when it turned around, because like 3 ultras got sniped before chitinous plating finished, but he had more on the way because he kept his economy up for long enough, and he took an early enough 4th base, and once 3 more came out, he was able to hold on just barely, and a lot of it did come down to the economy of ByuN, as you were saying as well. He didn't quite have the production. The 3rd base was a lifted orbital, and then the 4th base was as well, and that was delayed. And he just slowly lost his grip on that game.
Yeah, he couldn't deal with the run bys, lapses in what, mechanics. His bio not responding to Ling run by until it was too late. Accidentally bringing his SCVs with his army. You could see he really lost the grip on the game and a grip on his mentality.
Let's go ahead and interview our winner of this round of 4 match. It is going to be Dark being interviewed here.
That's right. We're still on camera, but he will be on camera soon.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah. JYP this time to do the interview.
What an incredible series. Did you know that you were about to win the match at the very end?
정신 차리고 보니까 변현우 선수도 오리.
For a moment, I thought that was it. I thought that was the end for me. Thought I was going to lose.
왜 스타리그 시즌2 김도호 선수하고 4강전이었나요? 아, 그때도 정말 박명우 선수가
He just thought he had to hold on. There might be some hope if he just kept holding on, and he did.
역시 그만큼의 고비였지 않았을까 하는 생각이 들어요.
네, 원래 사실
It's a bit reminiscent of the SSL round of 4, a really long series between ByuN Classic.
멘탈이 많이 나갔었는데 이렇게 결승 가게 돼서 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
Yeah, it does remind me of it. In set 4 of this series, I lost control of my mental and, like fell forward on his knees figuratively and kind of lost control of it. Let's talk about that fourth set. How did you collect yourself after that game? Dark said it was very memorable. He felt like maybe he was just not good enough, not developed enough after a game like that. Really hurts.
그래서 저는 경기 내용을 묻지 않고 있습니다. 이제 변현우 선수가 정말 자타공인하는 집에서 혼자 하지만
Feels like Dark's performance was basically perfect. Very immaculate performance.
미쳤다라고 표현하고 싶은 경기력으로
Meanwhile, against ByuN, who's a very competent pro gamer.
너무 궁금하네요.
사실 제가 스타리그 결승까지는
What does it say for your own practice load to beat someone like ByuN, a guy who practices so much? I was practicing very hard up until the Starleague finals. I got slightly ill after that, so I wasn't able to practice all too much for this.
테란전은 시작부터 중반까지
What kind of mentality do you need against Terrans to, survive and get to the late game?
승률이 좋은 것 같아요. 처음부터 긴장의 틈을 놓지 않다 보니까.
Mentality is basically you're going to lose the early game no matter what. You got to grit your teeth, try to make it to the late game, try to make it to ultras.
정말 역대급 경기를 펼치고 지금 좀
I think mid to late game is where it's at for Zerg.
It's the ultras, man. That's where you got to go. You go ultras.
강민수
They're
선수가
going.
내신 박명우 선수가 올라오길 기대했어요.
The day's not over yet. He still has to play the finals against Solar.
분명 달라졌을 것 같습니다.
It's going to be the rematch.
잠시 후에 결승전에서 만날 강민수 선수에게
Solar
한마디
was
해주시죠.
watching this match. What would you like to tell Solar?
결승 올라왔단 말이에요. 그때 정말 힘들었는데 아마 민수가 좀 무서워하기보다는 되게 좋아할 것 같아요.
Last season had a hard fight against TY as well.
그래도 뭐 민수야 너쯤은 힘 빠져도 이길 수 있다.
I think Solar's going to be happy because I'm pretty beat after that series. But Solar, I'm coming for you.
결승전이 더 기대되는 박명우 선수의 멘트였습니다. 저는 잠시 후에 오늘의 마지막 경기 크로스파이널의 결승전으로 다시 돌아오겠습니다.
So there you have it. That's the interview with Dark.
Honestly, I think JYP said it well. I mean, it was basically a perfect performance. That could have been the finals. And now we're going to have a rematch of the SSL finals. This Zerg versus Zerg is going to be tight. It's going to be good. Okay, nobody likes CVZ finals. I know. We had two back-to-back now. We had the Starleague finals, now we're having this one. But
it's so hype, it's the rematch.
Can we not remember? Can we not just remember and look back at the finals as it could be one of the best CVZ finals of all time? It was so good. It went to Game 7, mind games, 6 strategies. Incredible series.
And a lot of that is going to come back here.
Yeah.
It is going to be a best of 5, so it's not going to be a best of 7 this time around, but still it could be 5 more games that we get to see between these two players. And I'm sure that Dark wants his revenge after, losing to him in game number 7, especially to a cheese, the way it went down. Definitely does not feel good.
Yeah, definitely not, but he has a chance for revenge now. Both of these players are going to BlizzCon, but only one can redeem themselves or defend their title here in this best of 5. So much money on the line. 20 grand, okay? We're talking big money versus 5K. $15,000 difference in one best of 5. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot of money on the line. It really sets the tone for everything else we were talking about, right? for BlizzCon in the future. Guys, we're going to take a quick break before we do get to that final matchup between Dark and Solar, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.